Walking today in fields down in the area around East Cork, and walking into this first field of winter wheat, and I must say it's a pleasure to come in and find crops that are so clean. Generally this part of the country is afflicted by a lot more rainfall than other areas, and it's generally reflected in a lot more septoria in crops, but these are almost perfectly clean. I see a few spots where sprayers just didn't overlap in all the sprays, and I can see more septoria in them, a bit of septoria on the move, but these plants are absolutely lovely. One of the things that has resulted from all of the wet weather over the winter is that some fields have a fair bit of slug activity, and the kind of damage that they do is fairly easily and clearly seen here in leaves, lower leaves granted, that are being heavily stripped. This is the 5th leaf down. It's pretty free of disease and everything else. It's kind of disconcerting that you've kept it free of disease and the slugs come in then and eat it. So there's a challenge no matter what way the year comes or what type of weather it brings. Okay, I've just knocked off a bit of soil off of this plant that I pulled just to do a quick check on the roots, because we know there's a fair bit of take-all around this year, but all of the roots in this are clean and healthy and vibrant as far as I can see. The other thing I'm noticing here at the base of the plant is that I have lovely clean green stems in the main. No signs of eye spot or any other diseases that would be down there at that stage. But on one of the particular lesions, one of the stems here, I can see I have what was the makings of a lesion of eye spot. It doesn't look as if it's been very aggressive, and if we peel back the leaf sheath with the help of a knife normally, we generally will find that it hasn't penetrated. There's a small fungus mark here, just there, but it doesn't look as if the lesion has penetrated through on the stem, and therefore we can kind of report a good bill of health for the stems that are there. One of the things I noticed when I was walking around this crop was that there was plants in the field that were considerably taller, and this is just an example of one of them, and why I was able to notice them as I was driving around was because you can see the difference in the height, particularly in respect of where the flag leaves are, and the other thing that I was noticing at that stage was that I was beginning to see some of the heads breaking through. And here there's another peculiarity, because this particular head has awns on it, and that's probably a stray that's in the crop coming from either a volunteer from years ago in the likes of Swasson when it was around. It could be a deviation in the seed, but more than likely it's a volunteer that has come up from years ago, or something that kind of fell into the seed during the seed assembly phase, which is unlikely. But there you have quite a big looking head with awns on it, which would be untypical of wheat. If you compare the fact that the head was out on the strays in the crop, here's your kind of standard crop, your standard stem, and I'm just going in to find the head in here in this. We know that it'll be in here in this area here. I can feel it because the crop is booting, and all I'm going to do for a second is just take away the leaf sheath just to expose the head, and the leaf sheaths generally peel away quite easily. The next node here again, and then all I have to do is just expose it within the leaf sheath. Every second leaf sheath is rolled in the opposite direction. When you know that, it makes it easier to get under it, and just unconnect that or disconnect that at the base and unroll it, and here I can see the head of the crop proper in its late development stage, just before it emerges in the crop. So again, it's looking to be good, but you can see on this one no awns present, because none of the major varieties that we grow nowadays have awns on them. That's why I knew the other one was a stray a few minutes ago. So all in all, things looking good, thankfully, for crops so far, and it's just terrific to see them pretty free of disease at this time of the year.